Day 85, week 13, math. Turns out that we still have 5 days to really review what we've been going over the last 90 days. The shifts you've made, the shifts I've made, the shifts that have happened since we got together 84 days ago. They're stark. The emails I get from the shifts, the good news, right? The shifts have been pretty cool, actually, right? And even if they weren't, what meaning are you adding to it? Because that's what we talked about in the first week, was to see how the meaning that we add to what we're imagining is what is creating the outcomes of our life. How easy it is for us to attach meaning and say that it's them who did a thing to me, when it's you who is imagining that the world is affecting you, when in fact you are the one who's affecting the world. Because we live in a mostly imaginal world, because we're adding meaning and we're imagining meaning all the time. And then if we're imagining meaning on autopilot, frustration, anxiety, poverty, destructive ideas, thoughts, actions will be the result. So who is it that you want to be? And how is it that you're looking at this 3D reality and taking it as fact, as truth, as this is just the way it is? Because every time you're saying this is just the way it is, you are denying yourself. You're denying that you are powerful. You are denying that you are a giant. Every time you justify, when you could just be imagining lovingly all the time, revising all the time, making this a way of life, not just a fix-it technique, but rather the way you operate, because you are the operant power. So in that first week, we talked about the girls giggled, right? The guy was hanging out with his friends. He sees these girls over there. He's attracted to them. He decides, hey, I'm going to get up and go and talk to them. And he gets up and he walks towards them and they giggle. And he reacts. He turns around, he goes back to his friends, and he doesn't talk to the girls. And he is thinking that the girls giggled meant that something was wrong with him. He added meaning. He could have added all sorts of meaning. He could have become more curious. I wonder why these girls are giggling. I'm going to go and find out why. He could have imagined he's on the adventure of a lifetime. And he's going to take risks. He's going to follow his instincts. He's going to see what shows up on the other side of fear. He can imagine meaning all the time. Remember, we sat down quietly and we saw what triggered us. We saw with our eyes, looking around our room for 2 times 5, 3 times 3. We looked around our room and we saw what triggers us and what meaning we add to things. And then the second day, we listened for what triggered us. And then on the third day, we sensed what triggers us. What triggers you? And do they have to continue to trigger you? What meaning are you adding to things? Okay? And then we also discovered how others are adding meaning, and how others are adding meaning on autopilot. And you have the opportunity to lift them up out of that state and imagine lovingly. We saw how the news triggers us into the state of the wish unfulfilled. By listening to the pundits, by listening to CNN, MSNBC, whatever your social media feed, they all want to draw your attention towards them, and you aren't using any of your energy for yourself and for what you find to be important. What meaning are you adding to things? Is this really how you want to spend your energy, your thoughts, your actions, your state? And then finally, we could also just come back to who you are and what you want. What do you want? Is what you are doing right now really what you want? Or is this just a distraction because the girls giggled? That's it. That's all. Peace and hair grease.